Repatriation and reassurance are the tasks facing the Irish travel trade today and for the foreseeable few days to come. The repatriation situation has become a lot clearer. Aer Lingus and Ryanair are pledged to offering flights until March the 21st. Simon Coveney, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, has come on board. That's important because it does give a great deal of authority dealing with the Spanish government and with regional authorities that the Irish Foreign Minister is behind getting all these people home. Schedules will operate largely as normal as far as we know, despite Pedro Sanchez's pledge on Saturday night that flights would be reduced by 50%. It does look like the Irish Airlines will be operating close to full schedule between now and Thursday. But this is a very strange industry in very strange times, and there is a big rider. The Spanish air traffic control and to a lesser extent the aircraft security people are calling in sick at a large level. 50% already caused trouble for flights from Dublin, Cork and Shannon on Saturday. We're now looking at the prospect of more of that. So we could have a situation where the airlines who are doing all this Trojan work to get in touch with people, they'll all show up at the airport and air traffic control clearance will not be given to flights from Ireland. Not sure how close we are to that happening, but there is a strong suggestion from some of the Irish airline people that the system is degenerating and it's only going one direction. Getting home from Madrid and Bilbao, a lot clearer because there was a little bit more guidance on that. The flights are finishing tomorrow, Tuesday, March 17, and Aer Lingus to Bilbao and both airlines to Madrid have pretty much rounded up everybody they need to contact. Anybody who is booked on a flight after that can go into the Aer Lingus website, manage my booking and change it, and that is on the GDS as well. Poland, a little bit clearer as well. Ryanair managed to run rescue flights in. Like Italy the previous week, it generally seems to have worked, and as far as Ryanair are concerned, they've no passengers stranded in Poland. In the other direction, people getting back into Poland, they still have that website option from LOT, and LOT have also allowed people returning to Poland to take some of those flights on the other direction. Transatlantic schedules for all carriers seem to be set up to operate as normal this week and for the foreseeable. The obvious exception is that there are 13 designated airports under the Trump administration for returning Americans to get screened, and 4 of the airports served out of Ireland are not in that list. They are Hartford in Connecticut, Minneapolis, Philadelphia and Orlando. Aer Lingus will be halting their services to those 4, but passengers who are there will be brought home through alternative airports. Overall, the scene across Europe is looking a little bit clearer as well. It does look like we are having more border shutdowns and more flight bans, despite the call late yesterday evening by the EU Commission to try and keep borders open and stop unilateral border closures. It looks like the whole of the east of Europe is either shut down or on the way there. Northern Europe, Scandinavia, which is a very high per head infection rate, is also closing down massively. That really leaves Spain, Portugal, France, Britain and Ireland. 50% of the Ryanair fleet is on the ground, and by the end of the week that could be even worse through shutdowns in Spain and France, and very likely in Portugal on its way. We are going to see that impacting on flight demand. There's virtually zero appetite for flying at the moment, and that's the phrase that was used by the CEO of Scandinavian SAS, who laid off 90% of their workforce, 10,000 employees, temporarily laid off yesterday. It looks like one by one the airlines of Europe are grounding their fleets. That has an impact on those who need to travel, and there are still people who need to travel. They won't have the opportunity to do so, and if they do, they will be paying 1980s prices. They'll be paying through the nose for them. I had a brief chat with some of the people in Ryanair, and by the end of the week we could have a situation where only Britain and Ireland are flying normally. The pendulum is swinging one direction on this. Border closures, it's flight bans, and it's the grounding of fleets. Flight bans, countries that are a little bit further afield are also now imposing them. For instance, in Qatar, all foreign arrivals are being banned. That does not apply to transit flights. What we'll probably see in the Middle East is transit flights being exempted from the very serious shutdown, drawbridge up measures that are happening out there. Travel trade doing Trojan work. A lot of these people are facing huge difficulties. Big appeal to anyone dealing with the travel trade. Be respectful and be appreciative of the work that they're doing. Aer Lingus are trying to get more people into their call centre. With that number of people stranded abroad for both Ryanair and Aer Lingus, expecting customer responses, optimistic under the circumstances. They have both appealed that unless your flight is in the next 72 hours, please don't try to contact them. And also, if you can do so on the web, that both of them have waived change fees for existing bookings. If you can do so on the web, please do so. Tough time for all of us. Let's hold it all together.